I know you've heard of fiber, but what is it and why do you need it? Welcome to the Fabulous Health Show. I'm your host, Terry Chrisman, and I'm a whole foods, plant-based nutritionist. And this show is all about helping you obtain optimal health so that you can live a long, happy life and age with grace and vitality. So, what's this big deal about fiber? You're listening to episode 25, and that's what we're going to discuss today. I go live every single day, US 10 a.m. Central Time on Facebook and also on my YouTube channel, Fabulous Health. I load the audio up to all your favorite podcasts such as Apple, Google, and Spotify. And you can find that list at fabuloushealth.net, and you can click on the podcast tab where you can subscribe to those podcasts so you never have to miss an episode. I also have all the videos on fabuloushealth.net as well if you want to go and check out past Fabulous Health shows. And thank you so much to all the people who've already downloaded and already watched the shows. I love reading your comments, and I'm very grateful for you joining me on this journey. So let's talk about fiber. What is it? Fiber is the non-digestible part of a plant, a type of carbohydrate, and it's only found in plants. It's not found in animal products at all. Some of it's made of cellulose, which is a long chain of indigestible glucose molecules, and they create the cell walls of the plants. So you may have constipation or diarrhea or bloating or gas or distension and discomfort in your guts, and this is all concerned fiber. Not because of the fiber, concerned with fiber. So maybe you're not getting enough fiber. Maybe the fiber that you're eating is not getting digested properly. Let's find out why so that you can have much happier guts and much happier time in the bathroom. So there's two types of fiber. There's soluble fiber, which by its name suggests that it dissolves in water. And this is fantastic because this helps lower your glucose levels as well as help lower your blood cholesterol. So the foods that are packed with soluble fiber include things like oatmeal, nuts, beans, lentils, apples, and blueberries. Now, there's also insoluble fiber. And insoluble fiber, like its name suggests, does not dissolve in water. So what happens is that doesn't dissolve in your stomach. It dissolves way down in your large intestine, in your colon, and it helps promote regularity and it helps prevent constipation. So what happens is the insoluble fiber goes down into your lower intestine and it ferments. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, but it doesn't get digested through your stomach or absorbed through your small intestine. So foods with insoluble fibers inside them include wheat, whole grain, couscous, brown rice, legumes, carrots, cucumbers, and tomatoes. So let's talk about some of the benefits of the fiber before we talk about the problems that we might have with our guts. So fiber normalizes your bowel movements. Dietary fiber increases the weight and size of your stool and it softens it. And that's because it absorbs moisture and it absorbs the water. So a bulky stool that's soft is much easier to pass, so you're less likely to get constipated. But if you have loose, watery, diarrhea type stools, then fiber can help solidify the stool because it adds bulk to it by adding that water. So if you can imagine like mud pies and stuff like that, if you put more kind of fibrous material into that, it's going to suck up the water and make it more kind of cohesive lump. So what else does it do? It helps maintain bowel health because diet high in fiber can lower your risk of hemorrhoids and small pouches in your colon because you're not putting in a lot of muscular effort to go to the toilet, and it can reduce the risk of diverticular disease. It also reduces the risk of colorectal cancer. Now, fiber also lowers your cholesterol. One of the fibers that I love eating that helps lower cholesterol is the fiber in oatmeal and whole grain oats. So the soluble fiber found in beans, oats, flax seeds, and oat bran lowers the low-density lipoprotein cholesterols, and reduces your blood pressure and inflammation. Now, there are at least 3 medications in that sentence. Yeah, so blood pressure meds, meds for inflammation, and meds for high cholesterol. You can get rid of those with help from your doctor. I am not a doctor. Do not just stop at taking your medication. Talk to your doctor about changing your diet if you're on those medications so that you can eat the fiber that will help you get rid of those diseases. Fiber aids in achieving a healthy weight. So high fiber foods are more filling because they absorb the water, and you're likely to eat less and stay satisfied longer. They take longer to eat because they're chewy. You've got to chew through that cellulose, through that plant wall. And of course, because they're plants, they have low energy density and high nutrient density. So you get a lot of volume of food for a very minimal amount of calories. And this is something that I teach in all my programs and that I shout from the highest mountain and the rooftops 24/7. Who wants to be hungry? Not me. I want to eat tons and tons of food, but I don't want to put on weight. I don't want to overeat my amount of calories. So the way to do that is to eat fibrous vegetables. And they're all your vegetables with the water in them. They're the things like cucumbers, tomatoes, carrots, red peppers, leafy greens, parsley, spinach, all the things, asparagus. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, all the things that I eat. Broccoli, eat lots of broccoli, cauliflower, because they have tons and tons of water, tons of fiber, lots of nutrients, vitamins and minerals, and hardly any calories. So that's why eating fibrous veggies helps you lose weight. And the best thing is fiber helps you live longer. The more dietary fiber you have, the less risk of dying from cardiovascular diseases and all cancers. So let's talk about your lower intestine and your colon, where your poo is made. So what happens is fiber travels to the large intestine, and the large intestine is pretty big. That's why it's called the large intestine. It travels from one side of your body all the way up your rib cage, across your diaphragm, and down the other side of your body until you get to your colon and your rectum. So that's an enormous amount of intestine for it to travel. And this is where the fiber gets fermented by the good gut bacteria. You've probably heard about good and bad gut bacteria. And this is why some people have constipation, diarrhea, bloating, gas, distension, just really horrible time with their guts because they have an imbalance of microbiota. Microbiota is the good and bad bacteria. So when you have an imbalance of the good and bad bacteria, that's called dysbiosis. And what we want is a nice balance of the good and bad bacteria. In fact, you want more good than bad. That makes sense, doesn't it? So anyway, what happens is the fiber travels through your lower intestine, through your small intestine into your large intestine, and then it's fermented. And when it's there, these things called short chain fatty acids are produced. And remember I talked about omega-3s? They were long chain fatty acids. You know, the centipede made out of carbon atoms and the little legs made out of hydrogen. Well, short chain fatty acids are like little short centipedes. And what they do is they lower the pH of the colon, making it more acidic. And guess what? The acid in the colon is inhospitable to the bad bacteria and other inflammatory microbes, but really happy for the good bacteria. So your good gut flora flourishes and your bad gut bacteria disappears out your poos, dead, gets recycled, gets chopped up by those macrophages. It's gone. Now, inside your gut are enzymes. I talked about enzymes a couple of days ago too. Enzymes are catalysts for chemical reactions. They make stuff happen. So the enzymes in our gut are all specific to the food we eat. So if you eat a limited diet, you have a limited diversity of enzymes. And that means if you eat something different, you can get GI stress. So, for example, and I'm making this so simple for you, if you eat broccoli, then inside your guts, you've got the broccoli digesting enzyme. If you eat carrots, then inside your guts, you've got the carrot digesting enzyme. If you never eat chickpeas and then you eat some chickpeas, where's that chickpea digesting enzyme? It's not there. Your body doesn't produce it because it's not getting those chickpeas. So when you eat the chickpeas, oh, you've got gut discomfort and bloating. You might get diarrhea, you might get constipation. You do it, you get a tummy ache, you say, I'm never eating those chickpeas ever again. That, my friend, is the worst thing you can do. You want to get those enzymes into your guts so that you can digest those foods, because the diversity of plants is the number one factor of gut health. If you have foods that you can't eat, and I'm talking about whole plant foods, I'm not talking about I can't eat that, processed piece of blah from the freezer aisle because it makes me sick. Who knows what ingredients are in there? I'm talking about whole plant foods. If you can't stomach them, then you need to look at the diversity of your gut bacteria. Now, that is going beyond the scope of this particular show. And if you want help with that, by all means, contact me. And if I can't help you because it's beyond the scope of my knowledge, then I will refer you to a doctor or a gastroenterologist that can help you. Yeah, but you can do some things yourself to help that out. So the more diverse amount of plants you eat, the better you have a chance of being healthy, because the amount of enzymes that breaks down those different foods also relates to the amount of short-chain fatty acids that you have. And the more short-chain fatty acids that you have, the more your gut is healthy, because short-chain fatty acids are also the energy source for colonocytes. And the word cyte means cell, and colon is the bottom of your large intestine. So they are colon cells, colon making cells. So if you've got a leaky gut, and I'll talk to you about what a leaky gut is in just a second, the eating more fiber can actually fix your leaky gut because it helps make more colon cells. Okay, so what is a leaky gut? A leaky gut is increased intestinal permeability. So inside our digestive tract, we have an extensive intestinal lining which covers more than 4,000 square feet of surface area. And it's all interlocked like this, yeah? And there are tight barriers that controls what goes into your gut and through into your bloodstream. So if you have a problem with leaky gut, it means that the junctions between the cells have opened up and left these spaces so that bad things like toxins and proteins and bugs and partially digested food, they get shoved into the tissues behind your gut and into your bloodstream, behind your gut wall and into your bloodstream. And what this does is it triggers inflammation and changes in the gut bacteria. So less good bugs, more bad bugs. And this leads with problems of the digestive tract and beyond. So remember, the more short chain fatty acids that you can produce, the more colon cells you can produce, the more you're going to be able to fix that gut, that leaky gut, and become a much happier person with a healthier gut. Now, if you do have diagnosed leaky gut, please go see a gastroenterologist. If you just start randomly eating tons of food with fiber in it, your gut is going to have a hissy fit, and you may end up with more problems in the short term. So go to a gastroenterologist who is familiar with fixing the leaky gut with plants and fiber, not with medication. I mean, you may need some medication. I don't know who you are, but go to one who is plant-based first, medication second, and you should be able to fix that leaky gut. The other thing is that if you don't eat enough fiber, you are at more risk of getting colorectal cancer. So the short chain fatty acids that you produce from eating all the different plants, they activate killing enzymes that inhibit inflammation of the colon. And people who eat 35 grams of fiber per day have a 40% less risk of getting colon cancer than those who eat 15 grams of fiber per day. Just 2 weeks on a low fiber animal rich diet can result in more bad bacteria that can eat away at your gut lining, making you more susceptible to disease. So that is why I'm so against the keto diet. I am going to be doing a podcast on the keto diet. It's going to be in a couple of weeks. I've already programmed all my podcasts. So you're just going to have to wait for that. But if you don't eat the fiber, you get more risk of colorectal cancer. I highly recommend that if you have any gut issues, or if you're just interested in finding out how your gut works, get a book called Fiber Fueled. It's written by the Gut Health MD. His name is Dr. Will Bulsiewicz. People call him Dr. B because Bill will. I don't know, maybe Bulsiewicz, Dr. B for Bulsiewicz. You can get that book at fabuloushealth.net. Just click on my shop and go down to my Amazon store and you'll find it right there. So I hope this show today on eating fiber was helpful to you. If you have any gut issues that you'd like to discuss with me, please reach out to me on fabuloushealth.net. And if you want to take your health to the next level, please try out my online weight loss course. It's called The Quick Road to Fabulous Weight Loss. And if you use the code podcast, you'll get 50% off. That's an insane deal. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to discuss what's more important, diet or exercise. I'll tell you tomorrow. So in the meantime, you guys have a fabulous day and I'll see you later.